Okay, people, it's all about the focus. So obviously I'm not talking about the focus of the camera, but focus in your mind and focus on the task at hand. Very often I find people spending a lot of time and getting confused with daily tasks and regular tasks that they've done a million times, and suddenly they can't get them done in twice or three times the time they usually spend on doing them. Why is that? I find that people don't focus on the task that is in front of them. They think of things in the past, they think of other stuff they need to do in the future, they look around and they see things sitting on the desk that need doing or that trigger them in some way, but they don't manage to focus on what's going on right in front of their eyes. I'm not saying that this doesn't happen to me. It's a mental discipline to stay focused on what you're doing, and if we're tired or hungry or we're worried or we're sad, our emotions can play into that lack of focus. But on a normal day, the best way forward is always to stick to one thing and phase out anything else. Don't look into what needs to be done in the future. Don't ponder on what happened in the past. Stick to the now and here, and leave the later and there to another time. It has been proven that sticking to one task, finishing it properly and then moving on to the next one is a much more efficient use of your time and your brain than multitasking, because that's what this is about. If you can't focus on one thing, you're splitting your mind into thinking about multiple things at the same time. And multitasking usually doesn't work, for the simple reason that our brain is built in a way that if we're doing multiple things, we tend to use similar pathways for certain actions. And if we do, then there's some kind of mental congestion, I would call it, because we're trying to use the same resource to do two different things. So in very few exceptions, we can do things in parallel. For example, ironing a shirt and listening to the radio usually works because you're using different pathways. But reading and listening doesn't work. So the same goes for decluttering. When I work with clients and they are jittery, they don't focus on what they need to do at this time, but they look at everything around them and they get overwhelmed or they plan ahead what to do next. I try to pull them back into the moment and onto the project at hand and guide them to do that and let go of everything else and then move on to the next one and the next and the next. And I think that's a valid way of dealing with practically everything in your life. Stay clutter aware and come back for more. If you want more, there are options. Click the round logo to subscribe to this channel, or select the playlist in the middle to see more content, or check out the links in the description below. Oh, and feel free to like this video.